Boogaloo, baby! Man, we're on another level today. I'm in a hell of a happy mood. Marcus Twist is sick and tired of it. But we got one of Marcus Twist's friends again, so let's see how this goes. Please welcome
I have
everybody.
the best guess.
Please welcome Stank. What up, Stank?
What it do, baby boo?
I dig the shirt.
Thank you. Yep, representing the fastest rising tag team on the independent circuit today.
Quite the fast rise. I don't know if you caught it, Stank, but hell of a match just dropped today. Marcus Twist, MV Young. I sat here and said, holy shit.
Mark took it to a different level, showing a different side of what he can do, and it's definitely impressing.
Yeah. And hell of a weekend. That match the night before, crazy war with brotherly love. It went outside the venue. Unappreciated got involved. It was hell keeping up with these dudes. It was crazy. Marcus, what you got to say about the match before we get into the Stank story?
I was just letting you guys sing my. About which one?
The one in Morgantown.
Which thing from this would you like to talk about first?
Since we're an RSW show, let's talk RSW.
Okay. The show with brotherly love. Interrupted by the unappreciated, not surprised. A bunch of bitter bitches. Couldn't take a loss. So they come out and interrupt our match. Not surprised. It was a war, though. I'll give them that much. I'll give them enough credit to say that, like, at least I'm looking forward to beating them up again in Parma, Ohio, coming up this weekend.
There you go, 6-man tag war. Let's put the meat beater himself, Dior Castro, in one corner. Let's put Mad Dog Myers in the other. Where y'all stashing the whiz can? Y'all kidnapped the can.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, it's all over social media. There's video footage. Anyway, we got a guest. We'll get into that some other day. Just behave yourself.
Yeah, we're not talking about that. We got other things to talk about.
Well, you go ahead and take over. You know Stank better than I do. I know you guys go back to RSW training and things. Have at it. I'm going to sit back and observe for a bit.
Oh, we go back before RSW training. So, Dan Bosworth, a.k.a. Cowboy Stank, whenever I met him, I'll give, like, my backstory. I don't know if I ever really did, like, a very intricate backstory on what got me into pro wrestling, but we might as well today.
Okay.
At least dive a little bit into it. It was COVID. I worked in the oil field and got laid off. I came home, didn't have anything to do. And one of my buddies who runs the local video game store started putting together just random auctions to sell video games. I might have talked about it before, but in the process of trying to hunt down the lonely Virgil, I started training at RSW because I contacted Tim Cross to try and get some contact information for Virgil. Fell into doing that. Fast forward a little bit, we were doing a lot of training, multiple days a week down at the gym right outside of Morgantown, and I started doing extras like around the video game store, having like little pre-recorded, not so on the fly like matches with some of the other guys, and in the process, like, got to meet Dan, got to work with him as his Cowboy Stank character, because he would do streaming under Cowboy Stank. Had a couple interesting angles with that in the process. We fed him his own horse and shipped him back to Texas in a box.
Tex ass,
because we wrote
Tex-ass.
ASS at the end of it,
Clever.
which was hilarious.
Yeah.
And we train like on and off together. We've talked about like maybe doing a little more somewhere in the future. Dan, let's hear some of your backstory, man. I mean, just to give you the introduction, you do the streaming. You've been around indie wrestling for a while.
Yep.
You're a big figure guy, big figure collector guy. So am I.
Yep.
I'm big on collecting figures myself. Tell me what you want to tell me. Give me the background on your wrestling stuff. What
So
gave you the ideas you got?
So my wrestling started way back, and as far as I can remember, sitting on my dad's knee, watching WrestleMania with my daddy, cheering on Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Bret Hart, all that
Mhm.
stuff. Fast forward, I didn't even know anything about independent wrestling until because I mean that's just force fed. That's what you see on TV. You just think it's that, and it's a couple territories, whatever.
Yep.
Back in 1999, early 2000, which is crazy because I was born in 83. I figured out like, hey, there's other wrestling than just what's on TV.
Yep.
You know, my first taste was IWC when it came to the Sports Time Court Center. Uh, so I went with a couple buddies, and I met Sweet and Sour Larry Sweeney. Rest
Nice.
in peace. Yes, he was probably one of the most charismatic people that I've never met in my life. You know what I mean? And then just seeing him and how he could work a crowd and just entertain at a level 10 compared to like that what you see on TV and get everybody involved. It gives me goosebumps now, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Just being in his presence made me feel great. So that's when I started following more independent ROH, TNA whenever it was nothing. Uh, what was it? RWA from Monessen. Is that what the one? Or yeah, RWA from Monessen with Powerhouse Hughes. My buddy actually wrestled in ref for him. So that was really cool experience just to get my first taste into that stuff. So meeting Mark, I didn't know him from Adam, and I actually didn't even know Bill Dawson. I was streaming on Twitch under the name of Cowboy Stank, and I just love talking and I like entertaining. So I seen that they were doing something, so I just sent a random promo cutting down Bill Dawson, and he loved it. And I guess he showed it to Mark, and Mark loved it. And they said, "Get him down here." So I started doing a few vignettes with those boys and a couple promos, and it built a great friendship from there. Uh, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. And then Mark was talking to me saying that like, "Hey, I'm training down at RSW under TJ Phillips, and you should come down." At first, I was hesitant, and I'm like, "Nah, man, I'm old. I can't do that stuff. I can't take bumps. I can't do any of that in the ring." Uh, but then it always hits me. DDP was what 43 whenever he got into the business.
Yep.
So why not?
Yes, sir.
So I was probably what 100 pounds heavier than I am now, and
I would say, yeah.
yeah. So like I said, I started shooting promos with these boys, and I lost all kinds of weight, almost 100 pounds. And I finally hit up Mark. I was driving a zero turn at work one day, and I was listening to a Jericho podcast, and they were talking about DDP and Four Horsemen, and I was just like, man, that sounds really cool. So I hit up Mark, and I was like, is that still open? I went down. The rest was history. I think I trained for him what 2 months.
Yeah, you got a little bit of training, and we
Yeah.
kicked around some ideas since.
And then I ended up leaving because I had a whole bunch of family issues go on. But I've been texting him lately. I feel like I'm bugging him, and I'm like, dude, I'm getting that itch. I want to get back in it, and I just want to start training again. I want to continue where I left off because I love getting into the ring. I love taking bumps. I mean, it sucked. It
Right.
hurt, but it felt good just getting into the ring with the boys, the girls, and just taking bumps, having TJ slap me across the chest and selling it like a pro. It felt good, and I want to get back into that again. That's
Hell
where I'm
yeah,
at.
man.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I
And I
get.
had to, I had to put these sunglasses on, because I guess this is a sunglass podcast. So
It definitely
Well,
is.
I got sunburned today at work. So I'm trying to mask the sunburn with like the glasses. People pay more attention to those than they will the sunburn, hopefully. Because the sun is out and the seasons have changed, and that's why I sound like shit because I'm kind of sick. We're trying to get through it though.
Some said
We're
he's
working
a
through
bit
it.
of a grump today, even. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Grumpy or not, here we are.
He didn't get any butt grabs today. That's why.
It
That's what it
happens.
is.
I dig it. I like it. I like that you bring up the fact, DDP didn't get into it until he was in his 40s, so there's a chance for anybody. And Mark has kind of been on my ass about getting in the ring, and even you're an inspiration, man. If you lost 100 pounds, even if I don't
Yeah.
get in the ring, I'm gonna start fucking exercise and drop some of this weight because I tell you, what was it, Friday night, by the time that main event hit, I just wanted it to be over. I couldn't hold up my arms to hold the camera anymore. I'm sweating, and yeah, I need to get in shape. So we're going to get in shape, and then we'll consider training.
Listen, Derek, you can ask Mark. The very first night that I went and I started doing exercises and moves with them, I was shaking. I was so nervous. Like my hands were like this.
Mm-hmm.
And Mark had to calm me down. He was like, listen, you're going to be fine. I never did a flip in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And TJ's like, okay, you're doing a front flip today. And I was like, I have no idea how to do this. So like, like, okay, so I just figured it out, you know? But once you start taking those bumps, once you get into the ring, it starts getting in you. And even though I've been off for about a year now and I haven't been continuing that, I still feel it every day. Like I need to get back in there. I miss being with them because you start from day one growing that connection with everybody
Yeah.
inside that ring. And for Mark to still call me brother, even though I haven't been in a ring, is just that's unreal, because you
Hey,
grow that bond.
yeah, man. We've had numerous conversations with so many people now at this point, and like one of the things that we've talked about so much is how wrestling is a brotherhood. And once you cross over the threshold from being a fan or a regular guy into being a worker, I don't think you ever really get to cross back over.
And
Mm-mm.
and even me just being a cameraman, I don't take it lightly that I've been accepted into this brotherhood, and I call them brother, they call me brother. It's not something I've taken lightly. And at the same time, I'm right there witnessing my homies, my best friends, my family, just banger after banger. And I'm like, damn, I kind of like Marcus to chop me really hard in the turnbuckle. I don't want to beat nobody up. Hell, throw me around, get some heat. If I can help out, great. So damn,
One,
maybe me and you'll be across the ring from each other a year
hey,
from now.
you never know. But Derek, I want you to know you're not just a cameraman. You're a very important part of that whole circle and that community because you're putting their images, their likenesses, everything from their personas out there onto the internet, onto YouTube. You have a very important role in the business. So you're not just a cameraman, you're very important.
Thank you. And to kind of piggyback that, let me share with the listeners a message I got last night from a friend that works. He said, I got a message. He said, thank you so much for this shot. My son thinks I'm a superhero now. And he said, if it wasn't for you, my son can't come to these shows. If it wasn't for you, my son couldn't watch this. And man, that got me because I've got 3 kids. I know how proud they are of me just being a cameraman. I say just a cameraman because the risk isn't there like it is for a wrestler. So I know my place, if anything. I know it's important, but I'm not the star of the show. I'm just relaying the stars of the show. But to get that message, to say, I went to bed, a happy man. It was some touching stuff. The person knows who they are. I love you. And been a damn good weekend. Damn good weekend.
I know who that person is.
Okay. Congratulations.
Saw him get beat up,
Yeah. Fair
and then he
enough.
just don't come around no more. I don't know what his deal is.
You're running a lot of folks off. Dan, have you been watching Marcus Twist's antics lately on RSW TV, VCW? He's kind of got something up his ass nowadays.
Well, I mean, once you get tossed out of the company for a bullshit reason, might
Yeah.
I add, of course you're going to have a chip on your shoulder. You know what I mean? You got the upper management basically against you because they don't want him to take the shine off of his other wrestlers and their hand-picked talent, if I might say that.
Ooh.
Just saying. Just saying. Got to defend my boy in the fastest rising tag team on the independent circuit today. Just saying.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. This is why I bring guests that are they pass my quality check, Lou. Because this is how we do things. We invite guys that you like, and they spread all these lies and say all these terrible fucking things, and then I bring on the real people and the real fans and the real observers of the product, and they understand how things are. They know.
You're here to balance the books. I appreciate it. Dan, what else can you tell me about your RSW experience as far as training, some of the guys you met, some crazy stories, anything you got? What you got for us?
I don't have anything too crazy, but TJ Phillips was nothing but probably the most professional people that I've ever been around. Just the knowledge that he gave me in those couple short months, irreplaceable. He's a wealth of knowledge. He's been around the block for many years, and I can't give enough praise to the man. I loved working around Billy. You know, Billy Knox was a super huge guy, but willing to teach.
Mm-hmm.
He's very grateful, and I have a lot of respect for him as well. Like super cool guys just to be around.
Yeah, me and Billy, we go
Yeah.
back to 1998, I believe. So me and
And
Billy's pretty tight.
I actually, because I used to be I was still good friends with Bill Molnar from Vicious Outcast Wrestling for a while. Back whenever he was running his promotion, I actually was around Trevor Gage when he was 16 years old.
Oh wow.
Trevor
Yeah.
Gage.
And I remember this little scrawny kid coming up to me talking, saying like, I'm going to be a professional wrestler, and us throwing jabs at each other and him paying his dues, sweeping, building the ring. And now to see him flourish
Uh-huh.
to what he is now is just amazing. One of the hardest workers in the room, I'll say, and always humble and grateful for what he has.
I beat him up a couple times.
No, a
That's
lot of folks
how
have
that
said
works.
that. A lot of
Yeah,
folks have
well,
said they're happy to see Trevor where he's at.
yeah.
Oh, it's one of these days I'll see Trevor Gage again in a ring, and we'll beat him again. Beat him twice in a row. We'll continue to beat the unappreciated because that's what we do.
I don't
But we
know,
got
man.
different fish to fry. That's Lou. I want to get back on something that we were talking about.
Okay.
Now, you said that you'd want to stand across the ring from me and get chopped.
Okay.
Earlier.
Yeah, but not the forearm.
Okay, so what did you call me and tell me after you watched my match with MV Young on Saturday?
I said, fuck that. I don't want to take those forearms. I ain't taking your forearms to the face.
Yeah, I just wanted you to just throw it out there, because like I said, I think we touched a little bit of base on that match, but everything finally came out from a lick and a promise today. Very, very interesting stuff. No ring death match type shit.
Hey,
Have you ever taken a chop, Derek?
Oh yeah.
I mean, in backyard, but that's from a teenage boy. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I
man.
know it's a whole different ball game.
They don't feel good.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine a Marcus chop. So it's one of those chops.
Mm-hmm. That match was insane from beginning to end. There was chopping, there was punching, there was forearms, a plethora of suplexes. I did a collapsing body slam through a table. I got an exploder suplex through a table. I don't know if you should call them tables. They're doors. I mean, maybe we'll just call a spade here. They were doors. I don't know how the indie people like to refer to them.
No, they're being accepted as doors nowadays. They're even having TLD matches nowadays. Tables, ladders, and doors.
Ladders, and doors.
They
matches.
are. GCW straight up calling them that. So, you know.
I was going to say, because I was like, should you call it a table? Should you call it a door? That's the prices of tables nowadays. extremely expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So is this opening up the door for you, Mark, to more hardcore matches? Because that was a brutal match that I watched.
I've been dabbling a little bit over the past year with doing more hardcore stuff. From what I understand, IndieWrestling.us, they just put out an ad today for the next Spotlight Slam. That'll be the I Quit match with Saturday Night Special and Mount Kilpis. That'll be coming up here shortly. Like I think the counter on it's like less than 2 days.
By the time the folks watch this show, it's out. You can watch it on Fight TV. You can watch it on YouTube. Spotlight Slam, historic match, one of my favorite matches ever.
Yeah, that one was super brutal. Evil Ways in Pittsburgh has just recently gotten off the ground within this past year, and that's a no ring death match show. Me and Dee Dee were the very first match of the first show for Evil Ways against each other. And then we had a triple threat the following Evil Ways with Jason Gorey, and both of those are also online. After this match with MV Young, I think it's kind of solidified it that like Pittsburgh might be like my calling in Pittsburgh. Because when a death match like guy or a guy that's done a whole bunch of death matches, that he wants to work with you and like he likes your shit, I feel like that gives you enough credit to just be like, well, all right. I guess, I'm credited in this style of wrestling now to the point where like I'm wrestling one of the biggest names in Pittsburgh, and I've wrestled him more than once now. So I mean, like it speaks to my work and coming like a very far way in a short period of time. So,
I don't
I'm
know
excited to do more.
how Derek feels, but a Jason Gorey, Brandon Graver versus Saturday Night Special match would be fantastic.
Oh, I'm all
That
for
would
it.
be.
Oh yeah.
We've been kicking around like a couple ideas. Now like it's been said, and it's been said since last year that Otis Kogar and Bobby Beverly versus Saturday Night Special in a no ring death match.
Wow.
I've heard the DD Trash versus Saturday Night Special. I forget some of the other names because like it's a working process. They're booking show by show. There's not a lot of long-term stuff, but people are kicking around ideas. I like what I hear already.
Oh, yeah.
I've talked to the Bev about it. So I mean, like that, the offer's there, the option's there. I'm just waiting for Cole and Remy to book it and see what's up.
And while Saturday wasn't a death match, that shit got out of hand. If you want to talk hardcore, man, I was turning around and DD Vice is clear up this way, throwing stuff at Ricky Dawkins' nuts. Fucking Dick Hatchett's getting thrown over the table. It was wild. They were out in the parking lot just throwing each other around. It was a crazy match Saturday. You know what, Marcus? Let's say it right here, right now, so I have to do it. I'm going to steal that match, put it on Saturday night. What the hell's the name of the show? Saturday Night Shoot Masters.
Saturday Night Shoot Masters, brother. That'd be a good match to throw on that show.
Is that the match we should use? You tell me. We got a few Saturday Night Special matches we can put on there.
I was gonna say there are several. I'd like to see that, or I'd like to see the match that we had with the Unappreciated in Preston County, like at the youth center. That'd be really nice to see on there too.
Okay.
But I mean that's recent stuff. Now some of the other recent stuff is already out there. Maybe there's a potential to get an AON match out there. Okay. So I mean I do have some footage, some not so seen footage from AON.
Cool.
So I mean we got the 2-on-1 handicap against West from the Grapple Vices.
Oh,
for
okay.
the AON tag belts. That happened more recently. Whole thing ended with the Static Age running the ring. And everybody getting disqualified. The whole thing got thrown out. And that took us to Thundercade. I'm pretty sure that we've talked about that already. I got Thundercade the day before I go on vacation. Big arena, big fight feel. Don't really know what we're doing yet. Saturday night special will be there representing AON. I'm excited.
And while we're on the subject of Saturday Night Shoot Masters, real quick, I want to give props to everyone. Everyone. Anybody I hit up for a promo said yes within 5 minutes. The promos have already started rolling in. The guys at PWL and RSW over the weekend gave me hella good footage to work with as far as the matches and stuff. You don't want to miss Saturday Night Shoot Masters. Not only do you get the best action out there, period. I stand
We
by that. But you're going to see what goes on behind the scenes. We're going to get a little bit of AEW All Access on this, and you're going to see some goofy shit. It's going to be a fun one. That's all I'm saying. Saturday Night Shoot Masters this Saturday, 10, 11 o'clock. I'll keep you posted.
So we got to get that new logo out there, man.
Oh, man.
Finally, finished her up. Throw that out there.
Okay, enough of that. Let's get the big Stank. What are you doing nowadays? You still streaming?
No. Well, actually, I do dabble in it still. I recently got a promotion at work, and all my days are screwed up because I'm working like 12 to 13 hours a day now.
Oh.
I'm trying to find that time and that sweet spot because, like I mentioned earlier, I want to get back into the ring and start training.
Mm-hmm.
I just miss it, and I miss that atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to go back to I think it was my last night at the training center. I went to go do a flip, and I grabbed Mark's neck, but I let go. You remember that?
Yeah.
I smashed the back of my head on the mat, and it rattled me a little bit. So I need to redeem myself to get back in there. So I got to get back in there. It's just like finding that sweet spot from work. But yeah, I still stream on Twitch under Real Stank.
Cool. Okay. Well, let's lay it down here then. Me and you both sounds like we have a similar goal in mind. Let's say April 11th, 2024, we meet back up, and let's see where we're at with this. Is that a deal?
That's a deal, man. That is.
I'll make sure I keep on both of your asses about that too.
Hey,
I want to see. I want to see both of you guys. I want to have a triple threat, no ring, death match by this time next year.
On mattresses with rope.
No, concrete floor.
Oh fuck.
You're on, man. I'll accept that challenge. 100%.
Okay, that's all him.
Afraid.
I'm not accepting that.
Listen, I ain't afraid. I could take a bump like a pro. You know that, Mark.
Oh, brother. That's a totally different type ball game, because I mean there were talks with some trainees. I'm not gonna say who's trainees, but there were talks with trainees, and it was like, hey man, everyone thinks they want the smoke until you're getting it. And I mean, I'll 100% agree with that any day of the week. Me and Dee Weiss didn't know what we were getting into that first one. And then once you make it through it and you actually enjoy it, it's kind of addicting. It's worse than regular wrestling.
Oh dear.
You just want to do it all the time.
I had a fluorescent light bulb busted over my back once. And it was the explosion of it. It was like, damn. And then picking the glass out of my back.
Yeah.
It's not a fun day.
It's for hours, and you're still waking up with it the next day.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was disappointed I didn't see any glass, but I believe, what is that date, Lou, that we're going up to?
Evil Ways?
Yeah.
April 24th or 25th? I think 24th.
Yeah, so I'll be going. Well, just for some announcing and to hang out. So I'm really excited just for that. And you're going to be the camera guy, so that's exciting. We get to be fans and drink beers.
Hell yeah.
Make fun of people.
Hell yeah. That's the guy I was looking for. Look at him.
Talk shit to the crowd.
That's my favorite, man. They like me. I like them. I talk shit up there.
Yeah, I can't wait to play with that footage. Just the vibe they're going for and stuff. I think we can make something really special out of Evil Ways. I'm excited for that. Thank you, Remy LeVay. That's all I'm saying there. Thank you, Remy LeVay. Dan, you watching any modern wrestling? You watching AEW, WWE, any indies? What's going on nowadays? I know you
Yeah.
work a lot, so.
Well, I got the DVR and I keep up on the wrestling. Watching the current WWE, some AEW. I love what they did with Sami Zayn and KO. I think
Mhm.
it's well deserved. A lot of people were mad about the Cody thing. I'm not. I think that makes great storytelling because they literally did that with Bryan Danielson, and they made him lose, and it went an entire year of a program where he would build back up.
Yep.
And one, the draw, you want to see what's going on and if he's actually going to win it. So you have your underdog Cody going against Roman. So if you build that up to the next WrestleMania, man, what a banger that will be.
Yeah.
So I think it's great storytelling, and you're doing it right if people were mad. So it's going to keep you wanting to tune in. So I think they're doing it
I
correct.
was I was one of those people. I was pretty upset.
Really?
Yeah, man. I mean, like I feel like Cody Rhodes had the entire world behind him during that whole thing, and
Yeah.
then just out of nowhere, it all just comes collapsing in on itself. I mean,
Cody,
that shit sucks, but
Co-
um,
Cody's my
what else?
dude. Like that's been my dude for since I saw him at the Hall of Fame. I said, "Boy, that kid speaks well. He could really be somebody." And I followed him. That's probably my favorite wrestler on this earth. And hell, when he made his entrance at Mania, especially when he grabbed his little girl and she laid her head on his shoulder, I teared up. I'll admit it. And
Oh,
dude,
just like his daddy, baby.
uh,
Just like his daddy.
exactly. But when that ref counted 3 and Cody lost, it did. It felt like a punch to the stomach. It hurt. It sucked. I hated it. But then I laughed. I said, all right, whatever. Let's go. That's fine. It didn't ruin WrestleMania. I see people's point. Like, when's a better moment going to be? You had 80,000 people in the Palm. Everybody was for Cody. You can't, but I agree with you. Let's let it play out. Let's give him some struggles because a good point. He really hasn't had any adversity except for the pec
Mm-mm.
tear that really actually happened. Since he
I
showed up
was
in
just
WWE, he's
about to
just been
say
balls
something.
out.
Yeah. Give
Um,
him the ball. It's in his court now. Let him run with it.
Mm-hmm. But he hasn't had any obstacles to overcome. He's in the Rumble, he wins. He faces Seth, he wins. So yeah,
Yep.
he needs a bit of adversity. He needs to go through the struggle this year. He needs to. Hell, let Brock beat him. Oh God, no! I don't mean that. No, 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 no.
hard times, Daddy. That's
Oh
what
Lord, bacon and titty grease. Bacon and titty grease.
that was. I was listening to like a clip from Bully Ray's podcast.
Mhm.
And that was his theology on it was like, all right, he went through the pec tear. If he didn't, I mean, like it would have been 9 months of him building, but I mean, would they have still gave it to him? He has to go through hard times. They were talking about like that would be a hell of an idea for him to win it in Philly, the city of brotherly love, not the asshole midget kids that we work with, but like the actual city of Philadelphia. But that's the like without going through hard times and without building the story and meeting diversity, like it's kind of. I mean, it's lackluster. I get it. They said that Roman Reigns like lost almost 4 times in a row, like to
Mhm.
Brock on major occasions before he won,
Right.
and then like there's the crazy big superstar payoff. So I mean, like, yeah, you got to build your story, and it's not over. It's just adapted. One chapter's over, the next one started. So I mean, we got a whole less than 365 counting to see what happens next WrestleMania. I'm
And
not watching current wrestling until like probably 6 months from now because I'm still fucking mad about it. But whenever I decide to watch it again, probably maybe SummerSlam. Hopefully, they've done a little bit with it, and I'm not so unhappy.
I feel it.
I know Vince McMahon looks like the shittiest Gomez Adam. I hate him.
And you brought up a good point, man. Like WrestleMania is my Christmas, and it's hitting pretty close to home for all of us coming up next year. So if we're setting goals, man, let's try to make it to Mania. Man, what I wouldn't give to be a part of Mania weekend, to go to WrestleMania, never been. So let's set up another goal. Let's try to make it to Mania in Philly.
Look at this crazy shit, right?
Hey,
Seen a
man.
post because you know how we've been talking like we've been touching a lot more on like current events with like nationally and internationally known products, but we've been talking a little bit about the local stuff. Everyone and their brothers covered everything going on during WrestleMania, but all the wrestling shows over Mania week, the entire week. Who do you think worked the most matches?
Mike Bailey.
Ooh, fuck you, Lou. Why do you know that?
Because I
Because
know.
I know.
He had
That
10
was supposed to be
matches.
my news. How many
That's
matches did he work?
10.
That's his
I'm
job.
I'm not talking to you about this shit ever again.
You think, bro? I was sitting here watching the shit live as it happened. I wasn't talking
You
to
probably
nobody.
wrote it down too.
No, I didn't write it down, but I know, by God, I watched it.
How many did Effie have? I know Bussy's out there. They just got a independent tag team of the year.
Yeah, they had a hell
That
of a
was
match
sick.
with the match with Nick Gage and Maki Ito was such a fun fucking match. It was so good. I'd say
Yeah,
Effie
see,
probably
like-
had a good 5 matches.
I listen to his podcast like a little bit. He's interesting.
Yeah.
That's like he's like the Dos Equis guy, but he's real.
Okay.
Does that make sense? If you listen to like any of his shit,
Oh, I used to
him
watch his
talking.
Twitch. I used to watch his Twitch streams all the time. Hell, I'd interact with him and shit. Effie's my fucking dude.
The guy does Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
He's an international talent. He goes all over the place. Like he just went to like New Zealand and Australia, and he came back from Mania. Like came back for Mania weekend, did a bunch of shit there. He's in one of the most talked about tag teams probably in the business right now.
Mm-hmm.
And like I know Saturday Night Special gets all the smoke. We get talked about in the tri-state area, but like Bussy is getting talked about all over the United States right now. I gotta give big props to that dude.
I told my wife, "Oh, Bussy's wrestling." She said, "You know what that means, right?" Yeah. But it's fucking wrestling.
It's Alley Catch and Effie. That's
Yeah.
what that means.
Effie even had even dipped his toes in RSW back in the day. Was you around for that?
No, I was not. I wish I was.
No doubt.
Bussy actually worked a match against Calvin Couture and Tyler Klein, the Runway, in Joy Wrestling in Pittsburgh.
Okay. Yep.
So I mean, like that, just that he's been to me since I've started and actually paid attention.
Okay.
So I mean, all the boys always give me shit because I don't watch enough fucking wrestling, and I'm like, because I live it. That's why I don't watch it, because I live this shit.
Wow.
I mean,
Wow.
I'm not taking bumps, but I'm constantly editing footage. Oh, I can't edit because AEW is on. Okay, let's watch AEW. Back to editing. So I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear Marcus Twist.
Hey. No, you're gonna hear it, dude. I'm gonna be on the featured flyer for this week's Spotlight Slam. I'm not Pillman Jr. How many times have you been next to Brian Pillman Jr.? Spooky
Once.
Lou.
I got a picture of Brian Pillman Jr.
Yeah, but you ever been featured next to him?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, in real life, not just in a picture. I was there. I met the man.
Same. At Warrior Wrestling, and I was on the show.
Oh, kiss my ass, Warrior Wrestling.
Yeah. See, I've experienced Brian Pillman Jr. a couple times, and I know people that didn't like that match that he had up there at Warrior, but I'm not talking shit, just in case he hears this.
Oh, yeah. He's a big WrestleRoni fan, that Pillman Jr. He loves the show.
Well, so I like Brian Pillman Jr., but I know a guy that doesn't. And that's where I'll leave it at.
Dan, where you stand on Brian Pillman Jr.?
I like him. I think he's got a great persona. I think he is going to make it. But as of right now, I think he needs to grow a little bit more. But I think he's fantastic. He's showing a lot of promise.
I did a run-in on his match with Beastman at Warrior Wrestling in South Bend, Indiana. And I'm surprised that Lou didn't post the clip 1,000 times because he likes to post whenever I get beat up by other people.
I posted it.
Did you post? How many times you posted? Just once?
Just once.
Yeah, Beast Man ended up choke slamming me and then throwing some little man baby on top of me at the end of the match. I was trying to save the referee.
You know what?
And then anytime Lou sees me getting hurt, boy, you got to throw it out there.
And then I give you props when you have a good match like you did with MV. I call and I tell you. I may not tell the world on Facebook, but I tell you, damn it.
Yeah, any chance burying me in the public and then being nice to my face. What a good friend you are.
Well, I tell you what, I got a good debate for all of us before we wrap this up. Because we mentioned Pillman Jr., and when you say Pillman Jr., I think Ari Alexander. Dan, are you familiar with Ari Alexander, Pillman's girlfriend?
I am not.
Okay.
I've met her. She's very nice.
Okay, awesome worker, hell of a talent. I've been fortunate enough to record a match or two of hers. She can go. She's an awesome. I believe she's fighting Ron Mathis tonight. No, not Ron Mathis. She's wrestling tonight. My bad.
I was gonna say, Jesus, what did she do that they put her in there with Ron?
She's fighting some psycho at XBW. But the debate I pose, friends, is she made a post on Facebook, said she's not traveling over 50. It's over so many miles for $50, and she wanted to know if she was wrong. And I saw a lot of posts come up talking shit. I saw a lot of folks back her. Probably more folks backed her and said, you know, it's not worth it to travel so many miles for a shitty payday. So, where do you guys stand on this?
I stand where that's not right, because working with Bill Molnar and VOW, I know guys that travel from New York City just to come over to Uniontown, Pennsylvania for a hot dog and a handshake just to get their name out. Because that, to me, that shows that you're passionate about what you do, you believe in yourself, and you don't need money to show that at first. I mean, yeah, you're going to make the money in the long run, but to travel and just to get your name out, you need to lift up your product that way. That's how I feel.
I can understand that. Definitely can understand that. What do you think, Marcus?
Now, I could say a lot of things because I've experienced a lot of them. There are a lot of carny fucks out there in the world, but for the most part, like, wrestling at first is a passion project. That being said, until you've done some things, you can't expect like this big ass payday. Not everyone starts off on the indies like hot. Not everyone started out like, oh, hey, well, I was at WWE and then I got out and now like I'm this big fucking name, Matt Cardona. But for those of us that start like at the bottom, I started like not getting paid. I drove, an hour, sometimes 6 hours one way, and barely got paid anything. And it was on my dime. Now, like, that being said, you have to be able to like invest in yourself to an extent. And then like once you prove that you can be like a benefit to someone on their show, that's whenever you're like, okay, I'm not going to work at a loss right off the bat. I need, 10 an hour of driving. That's like my general consensus. Mm-hmm. Now, she's like, if you want my opinion on her, she's very nice. I've met her. I've talked to her. I've seen her around more than once. That's Brian Pillman's shoot girlfriend, I believe, or they're, at least the last time I checked, they're still dating.
Yep.
She's going into the lion's den that like he's been playing in for a while. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, you got a lot of really, really popular people out there, and they're getting paid really well because they've already established themselves. So for someone like her to want to become more popular within like a 50-mile radius and build her brand and then go back out there, totally understand that. Mm-hmm. With guys like me and DD Vice who've been around for a little while now and have done a couple like higher profile things with guys in the area. In our area, we can charge more. Okay. And we can never work at a loss because now I don't.
Because there's
But
fans that are going to come pay for a ticket to see Saturday Night Special.
right, there are people that specifically come to shows to see us.
Right.
I mean, like, that's just how it is. That being said, like, I don't expect to go into a new state I've never been in, being as popular and as known as I am here, which, I mean, like, I'm still, you know, mid-tier level of being known in my own area, let alone, like, to go say, like, oh, you know, I'm going to go to Missouri. I don't expect the big payday. I don't expect, like, the $200. But, like, I expect to do one good show, try to give them the best match on the card, and then whenever I come back, I'll charge them everything I want, or they won't bring me back. It's just how it is.
Right on.
It's getting established and knowing your worth is something that everyone has to learn, and everyone does it on different levels. I feel like she's learning that now. I'm still in the process of trying to get it figured out. But for where I stand in the tri-state, we do pretty good for ourselves. I can't really complain.
Damn right. Damn right. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. I thought it was interesting because I read a lot of comments, a lot of posts. So like I say, some were for, some were against. And man, I'm right down the middle with this one. Like, you know, Marcus, if you know if anybody knows, I'm for the boys over the promoters, by God. That's why I'm not allowed in the RSW office. Because I'm in there rooting for you guys. So you guys bust your ass. I don't know. I don't know where I stand on it. And who am I to fucking say? So that's why I wanted to ask you two. We're in the final stretch here. We got to wrap it up soon. What should be the last question we pose to Dan the Man here?
I'll ask it because I kind of kicked it off and we talked about a lot of different shit here. What are some goals that you have within this next year for, like, not only like your, professional, like, life, because it seems like you got that pretty well sorted out as far as the job goes. What do you see yourself doing in the business? Or if you would make, like, a solid full-on return to the business, like, what are some, like, big goals and small goals that you have in mind?
So short-term goals is basically getting my feet wet again, getting back into it, proving my worth to everyone around me, showing that they can trust me. And that's the biggest thing is trust, right? You have to trust the person on the other side of the ring. But I'm a mouthpiece, and I remember being asked if I wanted to be a full-time wrestler, but I want to be a manager because I feel like I talk a lot and I'm really good at talking, especially like live on Twitch or just like cutting people down. Like Mark was in the ring and him and DD. And I remember the one thing I said just off the top of my head was Saturday Night Special, more like, what was it? Sunday morning walk of shame.
There's
Just
a lot of those assholes throwing those out there.
yeah. So I want to be a manager. I want to enhance talent. I want to take bumps to make other people look good. I want the crowd to be excited that I got laid out by a power bomb or something.
Right on.
I don't want to go in there and I don't want to outshine anybody, but I want to make it to where that the face or the heel is getting the loudest pop in the room.
Yes.
So I want to enhance everybody. That way, makes me feel good that I'm helping them out. And I just like taking bumps and getting beat up.
Yeah. I mean, like, you can ask Justin Baker or Bake. Maybe I got to call him by his work name. Old Bake. Ask him what his biggest pop ever was. And if he doesn't say whenever I forearmed the shit out of him whenever we came back to Minogi Town Hall in West Virginia when Saturday Night Special came back and done whoop the unappreciated. Ask Bake. Well, what's the loudest pop he's ever heard? Whenever I beat the shit out of him, one-shotted right in the middle of the ring that night. That's good managers are hard to find, and they make good moments, dude.
And I appreciate that you said that more than anybody, because whenever I was running through scenarios in my mind last night, what if I do wrestle? It was the same thing you said, to make these guys look good. If I can get Marcus some heel heat by him beating the shit out of me, great. Until then, I'll try to get the best angle possible on the camera, and then I'll do the best at editing. Just to make, it's not about me. I promise you, it's not about me. It's about making these guys look good. Sure, yeah, like I'm a wrestling fan. It's been my dream to be in the ring. So yeah, that's the selfish part of it. But once I get in there, I don't give a fuck if I hit a move. Fucking beat me up, call it a night, and get cheered or booed all the way to fucking town. So I appreciate that more than you know. So it's been another awesome episode. I appreciate you joining me, Dan. Do you have any last words of motivation for the listeners, words of wisdom, anything at all, anything you want to promote? The platform's yours. Say what you want to say.
I mean, if you want to follow me on Twitch, that's great. Twitch.tv/RealStank. I stream once or twice a week. But most of all, I just appreciate you guys wanting me to come on here, talk with you guys a little bit about wrestling, and just, it's an honor to be here. So I just appreciate you guys. Thank you for everything that you do.
Hell yeah, man.
Thank
Appreciate you.
It's an honor to have you, sir. And I tell you what, I'll put the invite right out there right now. Next time we do a live panel previewing one of these big shows, let's get Dan on here to talk some shit.
I'm down, dude.
Oh, I can talk some shit.
Well,
I'll message you, Lou, after this.
Cool.
So.
Please do. Please do.
Yep.
Folks, it's been another incredible episode. You know what we say. Get out there, live your dreams, be kind to each other, but don't take no shit. Do what you got to do. Me and Dan's got goals. Marcus Twist has goals. And by God, Marcus Twist is fucking shining today if he ever was. Can't fucking get on the internet without seeing Marcus fucking Twist today. Jesus Christ. We love you. Stay you. Be the best you can be. Turn it up to 11 for Spooky Louie. We love you. And we're out. Watch the next episode. Saturday Night Shoot Masters coming up Saturday. I'm so fucking excited. We're out of here.
Ah!